Okay, good morning, everyone. Today's Thursday, December 14th, 2023. We're here for a work session, and as always, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Bob, can you please take the lead?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob, and for all those who came out last Saturday for the tree lighting. It was a wonderful event. At one point, we estimated to have 1,500 people on the riverfront, which was great. It was an exciting night. It was a long night, and Santa finally came to town. And so we're here. If you get a chance, you would like to, you should come down to the riverfront, and especially at night, and see the tree, take some pictures. And again, this was our second annual, and hopefully this is going to be a tradition for many, many years. And I also want to thank everyone who participated in the Comp Plan Public Workshop last night. We had a pretty good turnout, and we had some good feedback. And again, this is a plan that is being created for Riverhead, and it's been 20 years since the last plan was updated. Technology and battery energy storage and wind power and solar and technology. A lot of things have happened in 20 years. And so we need to update this. This is going to be our roadmap. And so again, thank you again for those who came out, weighed in on it. Many, from what I understand, there were many good recommendations. I can't wait to read them. And hopefully this process will be completed in the spring. And we're going to move forward on that. All right, moving on to our first discussion. The first discussion today involves fire prevention initiative that our fire marshals have created, and we're going to have Liam Keating and Andrew Smith with us to share their ideas in this respect. Guys, you want to come forward? Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Excellent.
Very well.
Good morning. So the Fire Marshal's Office has been working on an education initiative. We're looking to do some more community outreach and prevention messaging to the community with the schools for Fire Prevention Week. And one of the tools we want to use is social media as a platform. We've seen some good results with other fire departments, other organizations utilizing Facebook as a platform for prevention messaging. So that's something that we're looking to do this year and kind of start with that and build upon it throughout the year with a new educational initiative going to the schools and kind of, more programs like that based on the community.
So we're also, Riverhead Fire Department's been holding the fire prevention for the schools for years. They're having a harder time getting people to volunteer to help out, so we're looking to supplement their program with some of the older kids this year to help them out in the classroom, things like that. We're looking to set up a booth or something at some of the street festivals, Alive on 25, possibly the country fair. We've ordered some fire prevention giveaways for kids and stuff. We want to get the message out that way. We're looking for, target things, obviously the lithium-ion battery things of concern with the Type 5 construction apartments downtown. We want to get some messages across about storing these scooters, bikes, and these, safely, how to charge them safely. And we think that the Facebook page would be an excellent way to get that message out. It's shareable. If we could save, somebody's life just by, a message that they see on there, it'd be well worth it for us.
Yep, agreed.
Great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
How about funding-wise? Do you guys need anything? I mean, Facebook we know is not a real cost to it, but is there any materials or anything else that
luckily,
is necessary?
I've been reaching out to different agencies, like UL is a great resource for us. I talked to a gentleman from UL. He's going to help us with some of the stuff we want to do. We're looking to maybe do some live burn demonstrations over at the training ground, Riverhead Fire Department training ground. we'd like to, you know, videotape it as a message, maybe do some seasonal things. I know some of the other fire marshal agencies that burn a Christmas tree around Christmas.
Yeah, the county.
Dangers
Yep.
of putting a frozen turkey in the fryer, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when you see it, you know, and it's local, you know, it tends to click a little more.
Is that the training facility over by Stotsky?
We'd be looking at Northville
North.
Training Grounds. We have a burn building there, and we
Oh,
also have a
that's right,
concrete
yes.
pad where if we needed to build like a burn cell, we could do that. And then obviously it's in a controlled environment where we would have firefighters standing by and things like that.
Can you do more, like, can we do public messages on Channel 22?
We could, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
definitely open to all that, yeah.
Using our IT department to do like brief 30-second, you know, this Thanksgiving, this
Sure.
Christmas season, watch the turkey, watch the tree, all those things.
Yeah, NFPA and community risk reduction programs, they have a lot of that. They've built a big social media platform, so it's easy to take some of their messaging and then boil it down to our community. Stuff that's more specific for our region, and then we can put it on there and it gets out there and people are able to see it and experience it, so.
Yeah, Town of Southampton has a Facebook page. Like this morning, they posted the dangers of plugging a multi-plug adapter into a space heater, and with pictures to show. You know, we go to these fires, so if we, you know, we get something like that, maybe we could put a bulletin out like, hey, we just investigated a fire. This was the cause. Please make sure you don't plug your space heaters into multi-plug adapters. They're not rated for that kind of thing. You know,
Does Riverhead Fire Department have a fire prevention trailer?
they do, yes. They bring it to the elementary schools now. Yep.
It's time to put a scooter inside one of them with a plug to make it part of the program. Yeah, I like it.
I think it's a great idea. So you have to, we'll tell IT, you know, to authorize a Facebook page. I think we have a couple other departments that have Facebook pages. I know that the town supervisor has. Devin, who else has a Facebook page?
Seniors have one, rec.
The seniors, rec,
Anti-bias?
anti-bias.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna add, which is a good thing. It's a more informational,
We appreciate
educational.
it. Yeah,
No
thank you.
politics on there.
No,
No.
No.
Strictly fire safety.
just fire
Just
safety.
Definitely keep all our Facebook pages.
Very good.
Don't-
And then, you know, you can share your message across everybody's Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
Right, go to the other
townhouse.
pages, and that's the other part of it, is the town has messaging that we need to put on there, obviously, it's always.
Really appreciate you being proactive.
What about media outlets too? Like does WLNG usually sometimes does like community service announcements and things like that, so.
Yeah, I know, we know that when the county does that Christmas tree prevention, they have News 12 out, and they usually film it, and they put a news story together for it, but that's definitely something that we can explore and put out there.
Very good.
Well, you guys have been moving the fire marshal's office forward, I guess, in the last 6 months. How long you been with us?
Since April.
April,
Yep.
okay. So you've definitely been moving it forward, and we thank you for your work. Keep it up.
We'll keep going.
Thank you.
So what are you
Good
doing
job,
for the
guys.
holidays? Because I know Halloween was really good, the decorations. I haven't gotten down there to,
Yeah, would you,
I don't know. Our Christmas tree isn't looking that
It's
great.
a little
Oh, it's
sad
not?
this year, we're planning for next year, we'll plan.
are you gonna plan?
Plan
You
for
just
next
did the hurrah, and
Yeah.
now it's, okay,
We got a little busy and sidetracked, so we'll focus on next year.
all right. Well, you be safe and keep
Yes.
up the good work.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jack.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, moving forward to our discussion items. The next discussion involves, let's see, we have Ray Coyne with us today, our Recreation Superintendent, to review 2023 statistics and discuss 2024 projections and ideas. So Ray,
Pretty good topic.
yeah, let's see what you have for us today.
That's quick.
Quick,
Quick and easy.
Thank you, sir.
no sidekicks today?
No.
You usually don't travel alone.
is this what we have, Ray?
You probably have it. I gave it to Devin about an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's on the,
Could have a
Devin, that's
conversation.
on the website, correct? Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, these are the 2023 beach sticker results, the first couple of pages. I just wanted to quickly go over it with you. Some of it's repetitive on the first page. So if you can look at the top part, the overall percentage, you can see the residents and at 43% were the highest. Seniors had creeped right back in at 42%. So they have increased a lot over the last 4 years, where they're almost the same amount as the residents now, the seniors, purchasing stickers. Veterans, 4% of the stickers went to veterans, 1% we avoided out, 0% to employees, 1% replacement, 1% to fire and ambulance, and 7% were returned. The next column just tells you, kind of breaks it down by category. So the bronze parking, 43% seniors, residents, 44% seniors, 4% veterans, 1% voided, 0% employees, and down the rest, 1% fire ambulance. So you can see the senior population is purchasing the bronze parking. So they lead in that. As you go down to silver, which is the boat launch and park, it goes from 31% residents to 41% seniors, 4% veterans, 4% voided, 1% employees, 1% replacement, 3% fire ambulance, 10% on returns. The gold is the next category. You can see 53%, that's the 4x4s with parking, so that's 53% residents. You can see seniors don't really take advantage of the 4x4s, 20% of them, 11% veterans, 2% voided, and down the rest. So, and then platinum, which we had since eliminated, I'll show you on the next page. 40% residents, 23% seniors, 13% veterans, 5% will be voided out, 1% employee, 2% replacement. The last category is just the numbers. So the numbers correlate. What I have a spreadsheet that links every single beach sticker, and as they're populated live by the employees, whether at the beach or in the office, it automatically updates this front page. So I can see live what's going on, how much we're selling, things like that. The next page is just graphs of the same thing. So I love graphs. I like looking at it. It kind of tells you a story. So the overall percentage is right there. You can see resident senior dominates. That's in the pie chart next to it. And then it goes down to bronze, to silver, everything I just spoke to you about. It's just in graphs. It's easy for me, then I can see that better, look at it and say, okay, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, things like that. Same thing with the next page, platinum, percent gold. So you kind of see the trend of where we're going. The trend is that the seniors are increasing, and they're purchasing a lot more beach stickers than before, because residents were always the top, and now it's senior residents. So based on that and the increased cost of the beaches, cleaning the beaches, and the increased cost of the employees, because minimum wage is now up to 16. I think the last time we increased beach stickers was, I think 2019, and we didn't increase all of it. I'm suggesting, based on these numbers, a $5 increase for each sticker. This was agreed to by the beach committee. They would get provided this, and they said they agree with that. I just want to know if the board will agree on it. You could see down the, on this particular page, the 2023 numbers, and then what it would look like with the same numbers in 2024. So if you just go to the bottom, we took in 162,800. If we increased it $5 across the board, it would rise 28% to 208,750, and it's just $5 more a sticker. So
Wow, that's substantial.
it's $20 for a sticker now. It would go to 25.
No, we're talking about the raise.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
The amount of money collectively, cumulatively.
Yeah, that's if the same numbers were to come. So it's going to be similar.
Yeah.
But we feel that it's necessary. We have not raised the seniors since I've been here, 18 years. So we don't like raising the
So
seniors.
what is it now?
It's $5. So we're just asking for $10. It's a little less than a cup of
So
coffee.
we basically do all categories, $5.
Across the board, $5.
Okay, that's why it's that amount.
Yeah, and if you
Got
look
it.
at 2000, like the very right of that last page, you could see, so parking only was 20, with increase 25, parking boat launch 2025, 4x4 and parking, since they're both combined, $5 each, 80 to 90, and so on and so forth. So
Right.
we have the stickers in now. So we're ready to go with GoGov. One of the best features of GoGov is our renewal option, where we blast out to every single person that purchased the beach sticker with an email. You want to renew? It gives all your information. You just click yes. You just update your information, send it back to us. We'll have the sticker in their mailbox in 2 days. And we've gone from 10% online to last year 30%, 37% online.
Fantastic.
So we're trying to increase that more and more and less traffic into the office.
Hey,
So-
tell me, if you can, estimation of numbers. So let's go back, before COVID-19, we were doing non-residents. And what is the financial loss? So let's go back to like 2018. I know it's just, like a rough idea, but I believe that you guys were down like almost 50,000.
Yeah, with non-residents combined with that and the dailies, it was around 53,000 back then. So, yes, we did lose the 53,000.
And so, the only reason why I bring that up is that when somebody goes, well, the reason the stickers, it's $5 more, it's like, if you really want to keep our beaches to ourselves, and if we're not opening them up to non-residents, then, there's a higher cost to everything, than because
Right.
we're certainly a lot less revenue, so
Yeah.
it's about balance.
That's 100%, that's the way to look at it. And again, like I said, the cost, since COVID, has gone up so much. And our budget for beach attendants and the lifeguards get a lot more money too, because we had to compete with
Yeah,
the
right.
other municipalities.
We raised
and
the,
that. So we survived this year. We also put in a system that cleans the beaches. We have a person that comes in and with a machine and beautifies the beaches. I want to do that for all the beaches now. We were just doing it to the top Iron Pier in South Jamesport. And we'd like to do it more than one time. So when you go to the beach in Riverhead, you want to see nice sand. And so we want to do that a couple of times. We thought this would help as well.
What kind of machine is that? Is that a tractor that drags something?
Yeah, it's a big, he goes through all Long Island. It's a big tractor, and it has this thing that picks up all rocks and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I think I've seen it, yeah. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking. Yeah.
it's great. And you have to see it, because we're responsible for the rocks at the end. The pile of rocks that come out of the beach is amazing. But residents have called and said they love the way the beach looked afterwards, so.
It gives it a nice clean look.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because if you go to some of our beaches, they're so rocky, especially South Jamesport. I don't want to look. I want to you go down to the Bahamas or something, you see that nice, not the Bahamas, but you want to get close to. We want people to come to our beach and say, wow, this is nice sand. So, and it doesn't cost a lot, but enough where if we increase the parking, that would definitely cover that, and I can do all the beaches now.
Ray, can you describe, and I know in case people just tuned in for the first time about our beaches and our passes, can you describe the differences between, briefly, each level? You have the bronze, the silver, and the gold.
Yeah.
That way the public is aware of the difference in cost.
Yeah, what we've done in the past is that every sticker has a category, and people's cars were looking like colorful rainbows because they needed 3 or 4 stickers. So what we did is we combined them into bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and platinum's, like I said, we limited for 2024. So if you purchase the bronze, which you could see the most
Right.
were sold, 8,000 of the beach stickers were sold to residents and senior residents. That's just parking only. So you purchase the bronze, you put it on your car, it's parking only. When you go to the silver, now you're getting the parking and boat launch. So you want to launch your boat and you want to park, one sticker, you can do both. Just while I'm on that topic, we are researching GoGov and another company that will allow us to, for the people launching their boats, to scan a QR code and do it right then and there. So we don't have to put somebody down there. Because we put attendants down there at say 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. People come in at 6 in the morning.
Yep.
So we're working on that for this year. So that will help out a lot. The next one is gold, and that's a lot for the residents. You can see that. That's 4x4 driving on the beach
Right.
and parking. So you get the
Perfect.
one sticker, you put it on, you can do both. And platinum was all of it combined, but we decided based on the numbers, as you could see, we didn't sell a lot of platinums, and we figured we eliminate that sticker and combine it with something else. So that's basically how it breaks down. And the residents like it, so it worked out. 'Cause again, the biggest complaint we got back in the day was 4 stickers if you want to do everything. And people don't want that, you know, they don't want 1 sticker on their car. So, and we're trending to that in the future where we can just go by a license plate. And just, so the cops can just say, like, type it in, boom, they got a sticker, good, good, good. And it'll be like a scanning type thing. So we're moving forward with it. But we want to kind of get out to, jump right out of the gate, because believe it or not, even though the beaches don't open until the end of May, January 3rd, people are in our office for beach stickers. So we want to have that ready for them, and we want to really launch that GoGov. We're kind of excited for the renewal. It's the first time we're doing it. We're hoping that goes from 37% online to 50% online to 60% online.
Good.
So again, you could take your phone right now and order a beach sticker. You'll have it in your mailbox within 2 days. So that's the goal. So people could just do anything from their home now. Same thing with recreation. So
If people are coming in January, is there a resolution in for the 19th?
If it's approved, if the town board is for it, I will submit a resolution for the next meeting, or the first meeting in January.
Okay.
So, because it's a 2024 price increase. So we will obviously wait for the resolution to be passed, and then we can go ahead and.
I think we can agree to put that resolution in.
Yeah, I think it's necessity.
Really?
You're trying to make up
Okay.
lost revenue since 2018, quite frankly. It's not just 50,000 in a year, it's consecutive years in a row. If you
And-
haven't raised them, you're forced to pay, a higher minimum wage, which everybody wants to make a fair salary, but it's overhead, it's costs. And at some
It
point, you
is.
gotta make it up.
And we feel $5 is just minimum. That's now more than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee's like $6 now. So, and we've had, people will complain. Trust me, they complained in 2019. But we've had a lot of seniors come in. It's like, only $5? Oh wow, this is great. So, be $10 now. So,
Okay,
but
So-
if everybody's good, then I'll.
I think we're good.
Definitely, I have one question, right?
Sure.
What condition are the boat ramps in?
The boat ramp itself is in good shape. The what do you call it? Foundation is not in the best shape.
So does this cost cover fixing the foundation, or?
It can, because all that money
Okay.
goes to the general fund. So if you decide you want to do
Alright.
something with the boat ramp, you could take the extra money. We're talking about almost 60 grand here.
I think
Also
the
have
boat ramp is
development.
cheap. I think that should be higher, but that's because non-residents use that as well?
Well, yeah, we charge, for non-residents, we charge $35, not on here, but we charge $35.
Is that
for the
going
boat
up
ramp.
as well?
I did not want to touch it. If you guys want
Is
me
that
to
a
increase
year?
that too.
35 a year?
35 for the year, yeah.
35.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, 35 for the day.
Oh, okay.
So if you're we don't
That
sell
makes sense.
non-residents anything, but if the boat ramp was a joint effort between the state and us, so the agreement with the state was that we would allow non-residents to use the boat ramp as well as residents, but since we took over the boat ramp about 5 years ago, we can put any price we want on it.
Right.
So we said $35 a day. That was our non-resident day pass anyway. So that's what we're collecting now. If you want me to increase that to 40, I have no issues with that.
I think you should.
Okay,
$5 across the board.
good question then. Yeah.
Make sure it's on the resolution.
Yeah.
That'll help you in the long run. I mean, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, we get a good amount on the boat ramp.
Costs are not going down, right? So.
No. In
Right.
fact, if you look at our salary
Personnel.
comparison year over year,
Yeah.
personnel has increased because, again, we were paying these kids $11, $12 an hour. Now we're paying minimum 16, and that's for the rookies coming in. Now you got other people that have gotten raises, so we're just trying to keep up.
All right, well, you're doing a good job.
Okay, thank you very much. for
Thank
your
you,
time,
Ray.
guys.
Ray.
Make sure you put
Thank
the
you, Ray.
resolution in.
I will. Thank you.
Have a good day. All right, next, we have, once again, a discussion concerning matters of possible code amendment to Chapter 273, hazardous waste. And, Bob, did you want to lead us into that discussion? And I think we
Yeah,
have the
with
town attorney
Danielle, I mean-
Office here with us today? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so, this is
Good morning.
the carpet, we already kind of went through this at a work session, right, with the mattress covers, right? But this, Right now, if somebody is in Wading River and they're at an Airbnb or whatever, and they're dropping a garbage bag at the beach, right? It's no longer littering. Now it's, the fine is going to be, Daniela, you want to explain what's
So,
dumping?
the
Illegal
code change for chapter 273-7 regarding the mattresses and the carpets, that was discussed before. And then I met with Councilman Kern afterwards to discuss the issue of dumping and the fees associated with that. So we decided to hold off on the code amendment for the carpet and the mattress to allow for the rest of the code to be edited in one time. So what we added here is defining what hazardous waste is. And then we also changed the penalties and made it clear that dumping is prohibited and kind of separated the idea of dumping away from the idea of littering. So making clear that littering is one violation, which is in a different section, and then dumping is now contained in here. And then we have 3 different stages in terms of the penalties. So if somebody is dumping in the town of Riverhead, there's one set of fines. If someone is dumping within the Pine Barrens compatible growth area and or core preservation area, that's another set of fines. And then if someone is dumping in the wetlands as defined in chapter 295. This also would include, and like I said, we've defined hazardous waste, so no hazardous waste can be dumped as well, and made that clear.
You also, looked at the codes in Brookhaven as well, looking at their fines, and again, somebody leaves a bag full of garbage, that's not littering, that's illegal dumping. And I think it's important that we, I just go a couple of times, like behind the Conifer Building, behind the Chase Bank. I don't know if you guys remember the photographs of the amount of dumping that was done there, and the constant dumping that was done behind Diggers. That's illegal dumping, it's not littering.
Right.
And we're, in cases where the town has to pick it up, we're paying to pick it up, and we are paying the fees to dump it. And we shouldn't be doing that anymore. That should not be on the backs of the taxpayers.
Yeah, so
All right.
over the past couple years, when the sanitation department goes around to the beaches and to the parks and along Main Street, and they pick up the trash in the town's cans, if there's household trash, like in a 13-gallon kitchen plastic bag, they'll go through it and try to identify where it came from. And when those, the sanitation director then does an affidavit that code enforcement attaches to a charge in justice court. And currently, those fines started out at $100. So this enhances that a little bit and will hopefully act as more of a deterrent.
So how do you trace that? Did you find somebody's
You'd find mail.
mail or
in
something?
the-
Okay, yeah, makes sense,
Yeah.
yep.
That's how they found the one behind the Chase Bank. They actually, I think they picked up a piece of mail and they could identify it. But you look who's involved, right? Sanitation, code, and then the fee to dump it. So even at $500, it's about break even with all the time spent going to court.
Right, yeah, this sort of brings up to par what the town recovers in terms of what we expend to prosecute the
Yeah.
conduct.
All right, Eric, I'm going to ask you if you can add possibly to this legislation a couple of things. Often, when you see these type of legislations, they look at the material, right? So you have a mattress, which, okay, but then you have sometimes where they dump environmental hazardous materials. I think the fine should be more. Also, just recently, we just had this where somebody thought there was some contamination to a certain part of EPCAL, and we had to go in there, you had to dig, you had to pay for testing. So how do we incorporate that? I thought it'd be more if you can incorporate that, that if you have to go and you have to excavate and you have to transport the material that they dumped, and then you have to get it tested, that they should absorb those costs. You know what I'm saying?
So the range of fines that we put in, you know, if something were household trash. we would
Yeah, there's a
probably-
difference, right?
We'd probably prosecute, you know, at the lower end of that fine range, whereas what we'd be seeking from the court if it were environmentally sensitive.
So it's discretionary.
Material. Yeah, it's a discretionary on the part of the prosecutor and also the judge. The
Right.
judge ultimately sets the fine. If something were more serious, you know, something that could contaminate the environment more, our starting position would obviously be the max fine on a first offense.
Can you put
subsequent
something to
offense.
that effect? I think it should be clear. If somebody comes in and they drop some radioactive material, the maximum here is 1,500,
No, it's actually goes to
2,500.
goes to 15,000 for the third offense. But you're right. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's.
And also, I
Good
remember
idea.
we had to absorb the cost of testing that material. Just recently in EPCAL, we had to absorb all those costs. We had to send people, and then then we have to remove it ourselves, right?
Well, one thing I'll say is a lot of times when something like that happens, we'll also contact the DEC, and the DEC will sort of take the lead on the prosecution, and typically whatever agreement they ultimately enter into with the person who dumped it or contaminated the area will pay restitution to the town. That's typically part of their consent agreements. But we can certainly add that.
Yeah, if you don't mind just
as well.
throwing that in there, making it very clear that you just don't come here, go somewhere else and dump your materials.
Don't dump anywhere.
No, but but what you're saying is absolutely correct. Let's just say somebody
They're
does.
gonna get rid of it, but you're right. The right thing to do is don't dump anywhere.
If somebody dumps hazardous materials and you notify the DEC, and that probably, I don't know if we probably should put that in there, they will require test holes, and they will require the person who did the dumping to pay for those test holes, and it's very
Remediate,
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
And
recently.
remediate.
We absorbed, recently, well, we had to check
Did
the
we-
material. Yeah, we had to.
Yeah,
absorb
so
it.
you include the
to
cost
do-
of remediation and the fine.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Perfect.
Just something along that line.
Yeah.
I like it,
Sometimes-
remediation and the fine.
Well, the cost of remediation is sometimes going to be difficult to estimate when you write the.
Well, in court does, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
that-
because, you know, you can say
the
this,
remediation is typically something that we, when we prosecute these, we work out in a
Right.
conditional discharge or something, just because
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to put into the code exactly what the remediation is going to either entail or cost.
So with that, if we suspect that this hazardous material, I think in here, we need to notify the DEC right away.
We do, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
So the DEC then requires the remediation.
Right, so the DEC comes in, they do an investigation, they have the ability to file criminal charges
Right.
against the individual, and through that process, there is typically a consent agreement reached between the defendant and the DEC, which includes paying restitution to the town of Riverhead, and a full remediation and restoration section is usually typically contained in these consent agreements.
So for this, we're saying it's $2,500, we saw you did that, and we've notified the DEC.
Yes.
We're looking for $2,500, the DEC is gonna look for whatever they look for and require the remediation.
Correct, and we work with the DEC, and we don't resolve our matter until the DEC matter is resolved, and we resolve them on the same day so that we can just work together.
But not everything is contaminated. So again, like what happened in EPCAL recently, some people thought that there was some hazardous material. There were complaints made. There were official complaints made saying that there's hazardous material there. So we had to come in and we had to dig and we had to move stuff around. But we had to absorb the cost, and it turned out that it was clean material. So the DEC has nothing to do with that. However, we had to absorb those costs of the testing and the lab. That's all we're trying to say. You can just add something along that line. Yeah, it's great when the DEC gets involved because now they go forward with it. But the DEC usually comes in when we find that it's contaminated or there's very strong indicators. Or we do that lab test and it says that it is contaminated, then they would come and take over. I just know that we had to pay those costs. If somehow.
I think they did
weave that in.
they did monitor, oversee the They claimed, the taking of soils for testing and so forth, and it cost us like $23,000, so,
Yeah, alarm.
or a false
That-
alarm, yeah.
For false alarm, you're right. So we paid that $23,000, and it wasn't DEC, it wasn't a DEC case. So if somehow we can incorporate that into where these people would have to absorb that, then if we can, you could look at the law and see, that'd be great to incorporate that. And you know exactly what I was referring to.
Yes, I do.
I don't think the taxpayer should
So
pay
I'm just
$23,000
curious.
to a false alarm.
I'm just curious, though, if somebody made a complaint, right, that the soil may be contaminated, was the DEC notified at that time?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
They
They
were,
responded to the scene.
And what did they say? That,
They recommended that we take soil to sampling.
And we pay for it. And it came back non-contaminated,
okay,
and we
so
had to
we need to
remediate.
figure that out.
Exactly where we're going, because the $23,000 is a lot of money, and we're trying to
Well, but
protect the taxpayers.
We don't know, I don't know who we, in that instance, I don't know who we would recover that from.
No, but
Well,
but
in
I
this
think
case, you
if
have
it- I
somebody
think
gonna
if-
recover money, right? You have a body because you're gonna find them. So that's what we're saying. If you do find the individual,
Yes.
right, then we're gonna take the funds, and we know who the person is, because obviously it's going to court, and then we're gonna say, hey, I don't know how you're gonna structure it. I'm sure you can come up
Yeah,
with it.
in the past, when we've had issues like that, I have required the defendant to provide, first consult with engineering and find out what they would recommend. And then they pay for an environmental testing and prove whether the soil is contaminated. or
Okay.
not.
And, yeah, and that's what I don't understand.
something
How
code.
come the people that were moving the soil didn't pay the $23,000 is the question.
So I think
Why
we
did we
can
pay?
add into
Moving
the,
it-
I think that's,
Suzanne,
I think that's
our park.
an example that's
It's our park, it's
That's
our
so-
land, so.
sort
It-
of the
it-
basis for the conversation, but not necessarily a specific instance. It would fall under this chapter.
I think maybe we could look at adding something about recouping the tests, the lab test costs back.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
where we're going.
something simple like that.
Yeah, I think so, right? Thank you.
Okay.
Great. And I'm sure that you check with the Pine Barrens, right? Because they have
Yes,
they're doing a good job with them.
yes.
Yeah, so they're very active. The Pine Barrens Police. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, for our last discussion item today, we're going with Michael Reichel, who's our sewer district, to discuss the sewer petition. And Michael, good morning.
Morning, Mike. Good morning, sir.
Okay, so a petition was filed for the Fisher Group to extend the sewer district boundaries on West Main Street to include a approximately 2-acre parcel just west of the Blackman property. Back in 2004,
Yes, Jules.
there was a request for an extension from Blackman to include all of their property. At the time, only a portion of the property was in the district. They owned 5 lots.
Okay.
And, only 3 of the 5 were in. There was an extension done, it was approved by DEC. But since that time, Blackman has decided not to put their showroom there.
All right.
They've actually pulled their business at Riverhead. So the building's been sitting vacant for several years. So the Fisher Group has applied to extend the sewer district boundary to include the business imaging, advanced business imaging property that is just to the west of it. So what happens now is that you guys give the approval or the disapproval to move forward with investigating what it would take to extend the sewer district boundaries. The only thing that would be involved right now is engineering fees, and that's for H2M to do an evaluation of what the impacts would be of the extension to the existing collection system and the treatment plant, and as to whether the facilities can handle the additional flow from that 2 acres. After that, what happens is, if it's then approved, the town will do plans and specifications to run sewer main down the north side of Route 58 from Winters Lane and Cottage Lane. They would run it west to the bordering property, to whereas the old Blackman property can hook up and the new imaging property can hook up. They intend to make that all one big lot. I'm not really sure what they have planned there, but that is going to be part of the, part of the map and plan when H2M prepares it as to address whatever they're going to put in there to be able to accommodate the flows.
So Mike, when you extend the sewer to that spot, are there other properties in that area that can connect to it as well, or just?
In this particular one, no.
No, okay.
No, because the property is contiguous to the district,
Okay.
and so it's just a redraw of the boundary line.
And they've agreed to pay all the fees, including H2M?
Yep, yep.
I don't have a problem with it.
So there was a map and plan done for the Blackman extension, and that would need to be updated, plus a new proposal would have to be drawn up to do the sewer extension boundary itself. So it's a main extension and it's the district boundary
Do
extension.
you see any downside to it?
No, no. This is done, at other times. We're working on the car wash for Route 58 right now. Again, that's tied up in DEC with the geographical extension of the boundaries.
That's the one next to
So-
Lowe's?
That is the one next to
Pulaski and
the
58?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And the car
So
wash is paying.
When Blackman's is vacant, you still keep that into your overall capacity with the presumption that somebody's gonna come back in and continue operating. Like, once you bypass them, you go and you pick up another customer, you can't tell somebody along the route, no, right? They're in, right?
Correct.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so that's all
That-
part of your
that-
capacity.
That flow has already been accounted for.
Okay.
So it's just the additional property that's just to the west. That they're really-
When you're expanding, your capacity is good, right? To handle it?
Well, right now, we're able to accommodate all of the properties that are in the district. What this is gonna tell us is whether we can extend outside of the district to include another piece into the district.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds like a simple one, right?
Yeah, it is. It's just
Yeah.
routine, but you guys need to say, yes, you can move forward with it. I don't need a resolution or anything, but you guys need to know what's going on.
I
so.
think I'm fine.
I'm good, yes.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
All right, well,
Sounds
good.
good. I'll let the applicant know, and he can send over his fees to prepare a map and plan for that.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Excellent, thanks.
Thanks.
You have a good day.
You too.
Okay, this is going to conclude our discussion items for today. And Devin, can you please come forward and read the resolution? Good morning.
Good morning. If everybody's ready,
Yes, we are.
resolution number 1 authorizes the supervisor to execute a 2024 musical works license agreement with SESAC. Number 2, authorize the supervisor to execute agreement to extend agreement with Fundamental Business Service. Number 3, resolution authorizing nunc-pro-tunc legal actions against the owners of TJ Enterprises LLC located at 645 Grumman Boulevard, Manorville, New York. Number 4, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 64, Mortgage and Default Registry, Section 350 thereof entitled Registration of Real Property with Mortgage in Default. Number 5 and 6 authorizes the promotion of a detective. Number 7 ratifies the appointment of a temporary part-time office assistant. Number 8, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Dashawn Briggs Memorial Foundation, Inc., Run for Briggs 5K.
Can we pause for just a moment? In that resolution, it says that they paid a fee of $175. Sean Briggs was a Riverhead resident. I think in the past, we've always waived the fee.
Always waived it, yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, if they did in fact pay that, I would ask the town board to refund that money. And as a man that gave his life serving his country, so.
Absolutely.
And this is a
Definitely.
great program that they're doing
Yes,
for
and
the kids.
I remember you starting this. It was their lifelong dream to have this run, and finally you got it going for them,
Good.
the family, and
Awesome,
thank you for that.
awesome project.
And it is, and however, we need to let the clerk know.
Yeah, we'll speak with the town clerk's
Yeah,
office and make that
we can
change, no problem.
Make the decision here, but if the clerk doesn't know.
Yeah, so just to amend it, to either refund the money,
Yep.
Yep.
and I would seek support, and then to amend the resolution to remove the payment of $175.
Who created this resolution?
The town clerk's office enters the 255s.
Right,
So
yeah,
we'll speak
okay,
with
so
them,
they'll
no
know.
problem. We'll
Perfect.
take care of it.
Thank you.
Number 9, approve special event Chapter 255 application for Muddy Princess. Number 10, authorize the supervisor to execute agreement nunc-pro-tunc with Sousa Soccer Training LLC for training and referee services for Town of Riverhead Police Athletic League Girls and Boys Soccer Program for the fall 2023 soccer season. Number 11, amends Resolution 2023-819. Number 12, amends Resolution 2023-892 adopted on December 5th, 2023. Number 13, ratifies a transfer of a senior account clerk. Number 14, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 56, Site Plan Review. Number 15, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Part 1, Part 4, Subdivision and Land Development, Article 53, Subdivision Regulations. Frank, I had to cheat. I had to Google all the Roman numerals in advance. Too many today.
You did?
I did. I freely admit it. Number 16, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 17, Business F, Zoning Use District, Manufacturers Outlet Center Overlay Zone. Number 17, authorizes town clerk to publish and post a public notice for a public hearing regarding an alleged unsafe structure located at 29 East 2nd Street, Riverhead, Suffolk County, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-128-6-39 pursuant to Chapter 217, Part 3 of the Riverhead Town Code. Number 18, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Part 1, General Provisions. Number 19, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 273, Section 273-7 entitled Solid Waste of the Riverhead Town Code. Number 20, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for Meeting House Creek Stormwater Wetland and Habitat Restoration Project. Number 21, extends bid for general hardware items. Number 22, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for propane, fuel, and equipment maintenance. Number 23, awards rebid for crane truck for Riverhead Water District. Number 24, ratifies authorization for the Director of Economic Development, Planning, and Building Community Development Director to execute Jumpstart contract. Number 25, Water District budget transfer. Number 26, authorizes supervisor to sign agreement with Long Island Power Authority, LIPA, and the County of Suffolk. Number 27, Water District Capital Project Number 82334, 4195 Middle Country Road. Number 28, appoints an automotive equipment operator. Number 29, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 301, Part 6, Long Island Workforce Housing Act. Number 30, JPD, Calverton Site Plan EIS Budget Transfer. Number 31, adopts local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 51, Wireless Communication Towers and Antennas, 301-276, thereof entitled Permitted Uses, Determination by Building Department Appeals. Number 32, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 231-24 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Interference with Fire Department, Fire Marshal, or CEO. Number 33, authorizes supervisor to execute agreement with Riverhead Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc. Number 34, ratifies agreement with Riverhead Town Superior Officers Association, Inc. Number 35, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled 301 Zoning and Land Development, Article 58, Condominium Maps. Number 36, assigns the oversight of the update to the town's comprehensive master plan, Department of Economic Development and Planning, the Planning Department, and Building Department to Dawn Thomas, Community Development Director. Number 37, authorizes supervisor to execute agreement with the Adventure Group LLC, DBA Cousins Paintball, Inc.
So can we pause for a minute now? It's like, I really think that this should really be part of a work session in terms of discussing the impact in terms of the parking lot is full. Currently, we're still under portable bathroom services, and they are full to capacity. And we're struggling with that, but we're doing the best we can. So I'm concerned about the number of other people coming to utilize this. This was originally put in a project back in February, and no action was taken on it. Since then, this board voted to apply for a grant in which we received a $30,000 grant. And we're matching it, but we may be in the realm of closer to $70,000 because we may consider, we'll have a board discussion on it towards expanding Veterans Memorial Park, perhaps up to capture the 7,000-foot runway and make the study in a larger size area. So with that in mind, I really just think the impact of this, SECRA gives us a total number of parking spaces that were permitted under that 2004 plan. And so when we expand this, are we expanding the parking or we keep the parking? I just think we need to have a more in-depth discussion on how to move forward on this. So I really would encourage this to be part of a work session.
I would disagree, and I'll tell you what, for two reasons. One, the parking is going to be where it was slated to be, which is to the west, above the ball fields. That's what they
So you're
agreed on.
building a parking lot?
No, they're going to put gravel down over there. There's already a flat surface there. That's what was agreed
So
to.
you're building a parking lot, is
Now,
what you're saying?
yeah, they're putting parking in there. That's number one. Number two is prior to hockey, they were going to use porta potties. They can continue to use porta potties. It doesn't have to put any strain on that bathroom that's there now.
But I think you have to do SECRA because you're going to be over 51 parking spaces in the overall place, so we have to.
I'll check with planning on that, but I doubt it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have passed it to begin with.
But I also did, I did talk to Ray Coyne, and he has concerns about it. He thinks we should kind of pause and let the grant, use the grant money and do the study on the overall project to determine where things are going to go. I know Dawn is here, and if you have any ideas on the grant and how this plays a role in it, if you want to speak, but.
Well, prior to Dawn speaking, I'm also going to say this, and I haven't had a chance to show Dawn. We also have plans for an indoor soccer and lacrosse, which is already laid out. And I expressed to Dawn prior to that $30,000 grant that I would not going to let that hinder what we're doing with indoor lacrosse and soccer, because that's going to prolong that, which was prolonged for 6 months while we waited for the hockey with the state, and there's no way I'm going to wait on that. And the land that we're talking about for paintball is in the woods.
Okay. I'm not familiar with any of this. And
I know, I haven't seen you,
didn't
I'm
just-
going to show
yeah.
you. Yeah, it's all drawn out, and I have it for you.
So, anything, I would just suggest, and I wasn't familiar with this agreement when it went through in February. I wasn't involved in any of that discussion, but I think it would be a good work session topic, only because we should, and anything else that's happening, anything should be like a short license agreement, like a 6-month.
It is a short license agreement.
Or I don't know, I haven't read it, nobody's discussed it with me,
Yeah.
so it would be great if we could talk about it collaboratively at a work
I
session.
think that's a good idea, and I think we should talk about it in exec session, because there was
Well, hold
already
on,
an
this is
agreement.
not an exec session, you're taking public property, and it has to be in.
I don't
There's
think
only
it would-
5
Okay, so
items
do
that
it,
go
you know,
in there, which
I'm
is
against a
legal,
work session.
contractual.
I don't think it would be appropriate to put it in exec session.
No,
but
it's
that's
not.
a
Exec, you don't
question.
hide behind exec session. It's legal,
Yeah.
it's contractual, things that the public should know until we make decisions. This is a community property. We're talking about, we have a hockey rink. Obviously, the amount of people that are there and the people who are using the cars, the bathrooms that are there, whatever was set up temporarily, people are now getting in their cars. Now they're gonna open up an outdoor rink. So you're gonna have a high demand there.
Well, I think to
And so
Bob's
we have
point,
to address it.
I think to Bob's point, we all agree that we want to see this area become a mecca for
Yes.
recreation and athletics.
Yes.
And we need to, as far as that's concerned, we need to make plans for that expansion.
And you're absolutely right, but we just can't keep throwing things in without finding more bathrooms, more
Yeah.
parking, developing it, and where the funds.
Okay,
to do
so
that.
I think.
So let me
We
do
thought this was a proper
Then-
location for that 5 years ago, right? So when we had, prior administrations would not let us move forward with the grant application. This administration let us move forward with the grant application, so we did, and we now have the grant. I think and in the interval, it's been happening organically there, which is sort of a good indication that it's probably not a bad idea and that the feasibility will be there. But before we do anything that's going to be permanent or long-term or, it would be great to just talk about it collectively.
I agree with Ken that we should be looking to the east and going up to the runway, and that's where we should put this funding. And the reason for that, there's been nothing hidden about an indoor soccer and lacrosse. I've been talking
No,
about it
I
for
know what you're
over a
saying.
year.
Anything's
I
hidden.
don't need a consultant
Well,
in that particular area. I've already discussed it with planning. The parking is there. Ken, I showed you what it looked like.
Parking is not there. You
No,
have
no,
to
no, the
develop-
parking-
build it.
excuse
And
me.
that means requires secret to build another parking lot.
And this complies with, you saw I showed you the plan the other day. There's over 100 spots that are going to be added, which complies with secret because I worked with planning on this. So
But secret hasn't been done on this, so how can we pass a resolution and move them in when it hasn't been done yet?
secret was done on the hockey rink, right? So there
Done
was
in
secret.
2004 with a set number of spaces. We want a
Correct.
larger lot down there, but we can't do a larger lot.
More
'cause we've-
bathrooms, we need a
we've-
larger
we've-
lot.
We've maxed them out, our
Bathrooms
size
are
of
gonna
our
be-
lot.
Go to a work session, that's fine with me,
And
but I
hopefully the
don't
money's
want a
coming.
dime spent on what's left of Veterans Park. I'm in total agreement that we should look outside the current boundaries.
And
That's
that's
what
the
that guy
scope
should
of-
be looking at.
That's correct. That's the scope of work we've asked the consultants to look at. But it would be great to just catch up with you on, because I haven't had an opportunity to discuss it with you at all. So, and that's, it's the CDA and it's planning and economic development. So there's two parts that I'd like to just,
No, we can discuss it, because
Yeah.
I did have a discussion with Matt on this.
And I think at the end of the day, we are all in sync with the vision.
Yeah, agree.
Yes.
Agree.
I
It just-
support the project. I
Yeah,
just want to,
yeah.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
100%.
That now we're in some type of violation because we're putting in another gravel lot and we don't have enough. Suffolk County Department of Health has been really good with us, allowing us to function under the current conditions. But you can only push the limits so far towards how many people you can allow there before they go, hey, you've gone too far. And I don't want to do that. I want to stay within the safety range. And
So maybe it would be good at the work session, because we should be ready to kick off the feasibility. And maybe we can bring the consultant into that work session and then kind of
Yeah,
kick
provide
that
them with
around
the-
and see what they think about the temporary ideas and go from there. And in addition,
Suffolk-
anybody that's there temporarily should be required and willing to allow access to their property and to provide information to the consultants, because we'd like to know attendance levels, costs, and things like that. I think that would help.
Well, that would all be
The
part of
study.
secret, right?
We just to clarify, we put in a request with the Suffolk County Department of Health to allow us to operate with portable restrooms up there until, the new ones are being delivered in the springtime. So if we're doing another event up there, then I think we're obligated to go back to Suffolk County Department of Health and say, hey, we want to do another venue up there. Are you going to allow it? And are we safe? And if we get all the approvals, great, we move forward. But I just don't want to just keep doing things without
Yeah, I'd like
getting a full
just like
picture
an
of everything.
opportunity to catch up on the
Okay, and that's
recent
fair. I
developments
mean,
there.
you need to be well-versed
Thank
on
you.
both sides.
Great.
And then we'll put it up when you're ready for the work session.
Sounds
Dawn, you let us know when you're ready.
I will.
Is it an active project in the winter, Bob? Or is he more like starting in the springtime? I mean, does it hold him up?
He's ready to go.
Okay.
So he's ready to go, which is separate from the indoor lacrosse and hockey. And just to be clear, Dawn, what I'd like to do is I will send to the consultant so he has it firsthand, okay? Because the indoor soccer and lacrosse is going to be permanent. It's not a temporary situation. It's a
Okay.
$3.5 million investment
Yeah, that's
that's going to be
important.
donated to the town.
Great project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll want to move that along as fast as possible, and if we can get the consultant to weigh in on location and, layout and things like that, would be fantastic.
Yeah, with,
It is a great project.
Because that's their area of expertise. They do it all over the
yeah,
country.
I've seen a lot of consultants' area of expertise, and the park that was laid out by an expert consultant to begin with, and it was laid out poorly. But that's besides the entire park.
Well, this is a national company.
Yeah,
That
okay,
was
good.
a more local,
Good.
you know.
All right, so you're working on the hockey rink and you're working on the indoor?
Yeah, and the indoor soccer and lacrosse is
Soccer,
going to have
right.
their own bathrooms. You know, it's not going to affect anything else.
Are we moving this to a work session? Is
Yes,
that-
we are gonna move it to work session, so we might want to pull that. Do we have an agreement to pull that?
I think we need to discuss it further and get some of the
Yeah, we're gonna pull
consequences with
this, though.
secret. Yeah.
This is what's up. So we have an agreement that we're gonna pull this?
Sure.
Okay, all right, and then Dawn is gonna let us know when she wants it up for a work session.
I want it up like next week, if we have a work session, the next work session. Because I've held, and it's more for the lacrosse and soccer.
This has nothing to do, this is
No,
an agreement with
all right, but
paintball.
this has been held up, and I know,
Well, why don't we
Anyway,
discuss
yeah.
it at work session?
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll put it up next
Yep.
week?
Great.
good.
Okay, we'll put it
Thank
up
you.
for next week.
Thank
How's
you.
that?
Thank you.
That way you guys have a week to discuss it.
Sure.
Dawn, did you realize, I'm sorry, I know you were speaking. No, it's okay. Just so you know, it's gonna go up next week. Bob
So
wants
we-
it up
we're not
next
supposed
week,
to have
so you only have,
Our next work session would,
no, it is. It's done, the 20,
so you'd be talking about the 28th, just so
28th.
people are clear.
So
We don't
it'll
have
go
work
up on
session
the
next week,
28th.
it would be the 28th, so it'd be after
Good.
Christmas.
okay? So you have that much time. Thank you, Dawn.
Wonderful, thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, resolution number 38, authorize the supervisor to execute access agreement with Suffolk County Department of Public Works and Peconic Estuary Program. Number 39, accepts the resignation of an automotive equipment operator. And number 40, ratifies the acceptance of a donation from Van de Wettering Greenhouses. That's
And I
the
want to
consent.
thank Karen and Walter Gravagna very much because they really added to the holiday spirit around here by donating all of those poinsettias, so thank you to
They
them.
did. Hopefully.
Frank, did you get one?
Where were the ones for town hall?
You
For the-
Take the one on my desk. It's yours.
Devin, what happened to the ones in the boardroom? Oh, okay, maybe for the next meeting? Okay, so that's going to, I just want to double check the calendar, and it's on the 19th. Okay, thank you, Devin, and, we're gonna move forward to, closing this meeting, concluding our work, discussion items. And in a moment, I'm gonna ask for us first and a second to enter into executive session to discuss. It's actually only one item, and the other item that was listed has been rescheduled. And so we're gonna discuss one contractual matter surrounding contractual agreement between the town of Riverhead and the Riverhead Water District. And we have the Aquaman here, Frank Mancini, and that's gonna be with Prudenti and with Thomas. So can I have, before I say that, our next town board meeting, today's a work session, our next town board meeting is on Tuesday, December 19th at 2 PM. And with that, can I have a first and a second to enter into executive session, please?
First, so moved.
All in favor?
Second.
All opposed? So moved. Be safe, everyone.
We're doing it upstairs, or?
I think the attorney's,
Oh, we can't store. Yeah, right.
the attorney's office is upstairs, right? Right here. It's only one matter.
You go into your supervisor's office.
No, you know what we could do? Let's do it.
We could do it in my office. There's only four of us.
Let's do it.
They might be finished by now. I think they had a light agenda. Anyway.